How's everyone doing? Are you having a good morning so far? Yeah. How good were pigeons? I keep thinking they're a band, but they're a show. We are Tim Gilvin and Grace Taylor, and these glamorous people will introduce shortly, but we're here this morning to tell you a little bit about our musical Music and Freedom, and then don't worry, it is very shortly coffee o'clock.
So music, oh my goodness. Yeah. Music and Freedom is an adaptation of the multi-award-winning Australian novel by Zoe Morrison. I was going to bring it today, but I imagine that you can use your imaginations for seeing the book. The novel tells the story of Alice Haywood, a woman in her 70s who was born in poverty in Australia and moved to the UK aged 7, where she spent her early life training to be a virtuoso pianist. We join Alice in her home in Oxford, shortly after the death of her abusive husband, who has controlled and diminished her for the majority of her adult life. When she hears her neighbour Emily playing Bach's first prelude through the wall, she begins a journey of rediscovery and rebirth.
The show is told with a classical score, and a small cast of 4 includes an on-stage virtuoso pianist. Yes, why not? The centre point of the set is a grand piano that Alice's husband buys her at the start of the relationship. And at the climax of our show, she finally frees herself by smashing the piano with an axe. That's the correct reaction.
This morning, you'll hear 1.5 songs from the show, and the first number is a flashback to the 1960s, where Alice is preparing to play Rachmaninoff's Second Concerto in a concert her husband has signed her up for, with insufficient rehearsal time and no consultation with her.
So in the full script, there'll be scenes between the verses that you'll hear today, with Alice preparing and performing the concert. Needless to say, the concert goes terribly. This is one of the more heavily classical moments in the score, and listen out for a bit of Rachmaninoff in there as well. So without further ado, please would you welcome, fresh from the respective casts of To Kill a Mockingbird and Hamnet, the incredible Julie Legrand and Alice Brown.
When you begin to play, you believe that a piano is an animal to be tamed, to be mastered, controlled, shown the way. You learn to listen, to hear the notes before they're played. A piano is an animal to be tamed, but a piano is a trap, a bait, a snare. It holds the promise of a life free of worry and care. You learn to hold on to that dream, but beware, a piano can be a trap to keep you, hold you there. Is an animal you can't tame. I walked on stage, the lights went down, the piano remained. The notes I heard were not the notes I played. That piano could have thrown me from the stage, but I stayed. To my shame, I stayed. When it was all over, I hid in my dressing room until everyone had gone.
We were drawn to this story because it features an older woman and her redemption and agency in a musical. Alice is not defined by being a faded star or somebody's mother. So, in late 2021, we approached Zoe Morrison, the author of the novel, and secured the shopping rights with the song you're about to hear.
Zoe was really excited by the idea, in part because the novel is as yet unpublished in the UK, despite winning many awards in Australia. We finished our first full draft of the show in late 2022. We've had one read-through with actors already. We're planning to workshop the show later this year, ready for a premiere in 2024.
At the moment, the team is solely the people that you see on stage. So we would be very open to any and all conversations with partners who could help us take the show forward. We're excited about the idea of performing the show both in the UK and in Australia, and have already had a conversation with the Melbourne Theatre Company.
So the next and last song you'll hear is Pulling Away, where a little later into the marriage, Alice gathers what little money she can and goes to Oxford Station with the intention of escaping. However, Alice has been so isolated from her family by her husband that she finds herself unable to board the trains that come and go.
Can I help you with anything? And then I am left alone, as though everyone here is used to that sort of thing. I pay twopence for a cup of tea, a penny to use the lavatory, and the coins jangle in my coat pocket as I try to work out what to do. The 9:39 pulls into the station, the benches thin out as the passengers stand. I want to join them, squeeze into that carriage, but instead I just sit where I am. And the train pulls in, pulls away, pulling away. Wiping the stovetop, scrubbing the floor and the windowsill, up and down and repeat, just like practicing scales. Wiping the cloth in the crack between the wall and the floor, leaving the cloth where it is and walking out the front door. And the 3:59 pulls into the station, November twilight, feet going numb. I could hop aboard and unfold the evening edition, but instead I just sit where I am. And the train pulls in and pulls away, pulling away. In another place, in another time, there could be another couple like this, and she'd sit in a chair, he'd be at the door with 2 cups of tea, once hers, once his, and he would get down on his knees, lay his head in her lap, start to weep and beg her to play. It would be no good. All these stories I made up in my head, they were no good. They would be no good. And the 8:21 pulls into the station. I pick up my feet and walk back to that man. Back to dinners and dishcloths and tempers, resigned to remain where I am. The train pulls in and pulls away, pulls away, pulling
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you in the bar.